Rev'it Sand 4 H2o. Let's go. It's fair to say that one of the most common questions I get asked on my channel is about some of the equipment I wear, and in particular this jacket. I ride pretty much 365 days a year, guys. Very rare that I have a day off. Yeah. So bear in mind, I've had this jacket for the best part of a year. I've rode this jacket in nice, sunny weather, rain, snow, hail, sleet, wind, on-road, off-road. So hopefully I can give you some kind of perspective on what I think is good about the jacket and what could potentially be improved about it. I paid somewhere in the region of about £420, and then of course I can't remember how much it was, but I had to buy a back protector as well. So let's say conservatively somewhere in the region of £460 to about £480. So arguably not the cheapest motorcycle jacket that you can buy. Could I have got something similar for less money? I think there's absolutely no doubt about that. Maybe like an Oxford Mondial or something like that. It's considerably less expensive. Of course, you can pay more for the same. The entire jacket's a polyester material and it's 600D. It's called ripstop. If you look close enough, you see all these little squares across the fabric here. That's just to stop the material from shredding up during a slide. And the material itself is actually a AA rated CE material, which is higher than most competitors at this price point. The jacket comes with CE level 2 approved body armour in the shoulders and in the elbow. The armour on the arm with me gets quite a significant amount of use because I come off the bike quite often. You see it runs from here above the elbow down to almost the wrist. And of course, if you want to get a tighter fit on the armour there, you can cinch up these straps here. The jacket also comes with internal pockets where you can fit chest protectors, and of course you can install a back protector of your choice. Obviously you need to make sure that it fits the actual pocket that's there. Now that's one negative to the jacket. The fact that it's 400 plus pounds, and then you need to spend another 40, 50, 60 pounds or whatever for a decent back protector. To be honest, rather than just mess around trying to fit different sort of back protectors and body armour in there, I just went ahead and I put the Revit C-Soft or the C-Flex armour in the back there. And I find that back protector to be comfortable. I've never really noticed that it's there. It doesn't get hot or sweaty or anything, at least not in me. Of course, the jacket comes with these little reflective strips dotted around. I know that black and dark colours, and sometimes if you're off-road a lot of these sort of camo colours are really quite popular. But to be honest, I think visibility is important, particularly if you ride at night time. Not just at night time, but during the day. And that's one of the reasons I went for this particular colourway. It's easy to see. There's nothing worse than riding around looking like Banana Man. But on that note, you do find these little toggles on the jacket for Revit's high-vis gear. See these ones on the shoulders here? I think that's for the neck brace, which again, that's something I don't wear. I found the jacket fits true to size as per Revit's size chart. Don't forget you want a little bit of flexibility in there. Since buying this jacket, I've actually gained a little bit of weight, but in the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks I've actually started losing weight again. And with an adventure jacket, you want to make sure that it's not so big that it's like wearing, it's big and bulky and heavy, it's like wearing a bin liner. But it needs to be loose enough that you can put additional layers in here in case you're riding in really cold weather. So just like the adjustment on the arms for the body armour here, you can see on the side there's adjustment straps as well, and these don't just adjust left to right, they can be adjusted up and down as well, which is really good for getting a really good fit depending on your body shape. Sometimes you get a jacket with sort of mesh or flex underneath the armpit. This jacket doesn't have that, but I find that it doesn't really impede the riding position. It doesn't matter whether I'm riding normally or whether I'm standing. I've got a full range of motion. One of my favourite features on this jacket is this little snapback here now. Under most circumstances I keep it snapped back out the way, but if it's really cold or there's driving wind, something like that, then you can also snap this across. And the beauty of this is it's adjustable. On the front here we've got these very large pockets, and these are water resistant. For the most part I tend to keep wallets and phones and things like that in here. Now eventually, if it's really torrential rain, these will soak through, but it takes a lot of rain. So if you don't have top boxes or completely dry areas in the bike and it's torrential rain and you don't have some kind of waterproof cover on here, then you want to keep any valuables inside the jacket itself. There's actually a pocket inside the inner thermal liner, and that will keep it completely dry. Now, there is an option to keep things in here in the rain, but that's something that I'll come back to. You can't comfortably walk around like this, but some jackets you'll see actually have a side pocket as well. In fact, I think the Rev'it Sand 3 actually had that design before they changed over to the Sand 4 with these flap over pockets. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something worth thinking about. If that's something, quick access essentially is something that might be important to you. Now, you'll either look at it as a positive or a negative, and that's the fact that these jackets are 4 season, or are claimed to be 4 seasons. It's a little bit like your off-road tyres. We're always looking for the panacea, that perfect on-road, perfect off-road type tyre. It's either too knobbly, or it's not knobbly enough, or it's not got enough grip, or whatever it happens to be. These style of jackets can fall foul of that type of thinking. That's because, like most of these jackets, there's compromises. To try and get around that 4 season thing, it's a 3-layer jacket. You've got an internal thermal liner, which is designed to keep you hot or warm in cold weather. And then you've got a waterproof Hydrotex liner here. The common complaint is, what's the point of having the waterproofing on the inside of the jacket? Because eventually, whilst this wicks off some water, it will soak through eventually. And especially for adventure riders, that's a common complaint, because at night time they're in the tent, they're trying to dry things off, it stinks, it's mouldy, it's heavy, you're putting wet gear on in the morning. And I've been there, guys, in very wet weather with this jacket on. Eventually this will soak through, and yeah, this does an excellent job of keeping you dry. Now, you don't need to take my word for that. Ryan F9, he's actually done a review and a test on the different styles of waterproofing that motorcycle manufacturers use. I'll put a little link to that towards the end here. So then, of course, the workaround for that is you buy a more expensive jacket that's got a laminated exterior on that, and that might be some, you know, form of Gore-Tex or some type of laminated blend on there. And then, of course, the complaint is that it's far too hot in the summer. It's like wearing a bin bag. It's not breathable enough, it's too heavy, which a lot of these jackets, I must tell you guys, because I've tried them, they can be really hot this summer. So let's work through that logically. Of course, in really hot weather, then you've got the internal liner and you've got the waterproof liner that you can remove. And of course, then the common complaint is, these are absolutely useless. It's additional stuff you need to carry around. I have to say that I disagree actually. You can put both of these liners in this rear pocket here. They fit. Roll them up, stick them in. It doesn't really take up any additional space or weight. So is this jacket too hot in summer? Then I would need to say no. I think personally this is where this jacket comes into its own, because you've got this vent panel here which allows air to flow all the way through. Now, of course, you don't need to have that zipped up. You can also open up and button back these, which again is an improvement on the Sand 3. The Sand 3 only zipped open the front here, and a lot of jackets are the same that way. Then of course you've got vents up the arms here, and you've got 2 large, let's call them exhaust vents, I guess, at the back here. So the jacket's certainly not too hot. So with the external jacket not being laminated or some kind of Gore-Tex material, that means that it breathes quite well. So that's all well and good for the summer. At vents, you're not going to be too hot. What about these naysayers that say that the internal liners are absolutely useless because the external jacket's going to get wet in the rain? Is it just me or what? Who says that the waterproof jacket, which in my personal experience keeps you bone dry, who says that it absolutely must be inside the jacket? This liner is supposed to be a destination piece, meaning that when you get there, whether you're camping or get to a town or whatever, then you can get rid of that big heavy jacket and then you can wear this around town. Not sure I would wear it to the dancing right enough.